well. Thank you so much for staying with me. And thanks again to our sponsors for sponsoring our show so that we can bring the Anthony Petitti Organic Gardening Show to you each and every week at 8 a.m. right here on The Light. So I told you before the break I would be telling you about breakfast. So if you haven't had breakfast yet and you would like to have a free breakfast, we do ask if you would love to make a donation. We would lovely accept it. But it is a free breakfast sponsored by the Stark County Farm Bureau. It is out at the Puro Farm in East Canton on Mott's Avenue. It is going to be running this morning until noon. We've already actually started out there. We started serving at 8 o'clock, and we'll be serving breakfast, pancakes and sausage until noon. And the other thing, besides breakfast, you can tour the Puro's farm. It is all robotic, and so you can see robots milking cows and get a nice little tour of their farm. So we would love you to come out. Again, it's until noon today out at the Puro Farm on Mott's Avenue in East Canton. You can go to our Facebook page or the Stark County Farm Bureau's Facebook page and get directions. Or you can Google the farm breakfast on the farm and get information on that. So that's going on this morning. And again, all of the farmers markets, the Canton Farmers Market's going on until 11:30. The Alliance Farmers Market goes on until noon. And so it's a great opportunity to buy local, get your produce local from farmers that live right in your community. There's some great other farmers markets that go on during the week if Saturdays aren't a good day for you. The Plain Township Farmers Market is right beside High Mill Church of the Resurrection, my church, and behind the fire station in the Veterans Memorial Park on Schneider Road every Wednesday from 4 to 7. And also the Tuscarawas County Farmers Market is at the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds every Wednesday evening as well. So we want to invite you all to go to local farmers market. I know there's some new things online. There's a couple markets that they call them second organic vegetables. So, we know what seconds are. They're not all perfect. And they will ship them to you at a lesser cost. They're not coming from a local farmer. So, and also you need to think about that carbon footprint that gets them here. They say most of them are coming from the New Jersey area. Well, it's a lot of fuel to get vegetables from New Jersey here, even if they are cheaper for you. Sometimes we have to think about how it's going to affect everyone, not just us. And so if you're buying, you saved a few dollars maybe buying organic vegetables, which are great, but in the summertime when you can get them locally, supporting your local farmer is very, very important and crucial to our economy. And really think about that when you're buying food online. Who are you supporting and who's getting your money? You want local farmers to be here, but if you're not supporting them, they can't support a farm. So please think about those kind of things when you're doing that. Again, remember the specials that we have going on, all BOGOs. Buy a flat, get a flat. Buy a tray, get a tray. Buy a 4-inch pot and get one free. So we would like to invite you to come out to the store and take advantage of those. And then also those large veggie plants that we have. So if you want to get a harvest quickly, you will be able to do that without having issues of trying to get a garden going late in the season and not having a harvest until maybe October on some of those things. But remember, there are a lot of those quick crops like your beets and your radishes, green beans, a lot of those things you can start even from seed this late in the season and have a wonderful, wonderful harvest. Well, a lot of you are battling diseases this year because of so much rain. I know Rodney was in this week with pepper problems, and Dale was in with some tomato problems. It just seems like several of you have been in this week with problems. And there are some things, I know a lot of you, and I'm guilty of this as well. I go to the internet a lot of times first to find an answer. And we have to remember that the internet the answers that they have isn't always local. So they don't know what's been happening here in our region. So they're going to give you a very general idea of how to treat something. And they're not going to know everything that's going on. So, talking to other farmers, to other garden centers that are local, they might be able to help you a little bit better. But I know the internet says a lot of things. And Rodney was very concerned because the internet told him there was no hope for his pepper plants if they looked like his looked, and he should just pull them all out and throw them all away. That is an expensive gesture to do. If you do have a critical disease, and it's going to spread to your other plants, then yes, sometimes that is necessary. But maybe you can put up a barrier between the pepper plants or whatever plant it is that has the issue so that it won't get to the other ones. There are good fungicides that you can use. The copper fungicide is a great organic thing to use, even probably better than most chemical fungicides. The copper is great besides your grapes. Remember your grapes, you always want to use sulfur. But it's really going to be good. And then the other thing is keeping them fed so that they stay strong. Getting rid of the leaves that look bad. And remember sterilization, cleaning your tools in between each cut, cleaning your hands while you're handling the plant so that you don't carry it. A lot of times, even if the wind is blowing, the spores can go to your clothes. And then if you brush up against your plant, you can actually, spread it that way. So you do want to, I think that's why a lot of people say, well, there's no cure, because if you do try to treat it, then you're just spreading the spore and you're going to make it worse. And so there's things that you can do. Wear old clothes and put some peroxide in a spritzer bottle so that between each plant or even each branch, you can literally spritz your pruners or your scissors, whatever you're using. You can spritz your hands and also your clothing, like have an old shirt on, so that you can spritz it with the peroxide. So if it takes some color out, it's not a big deal. But that way you will not be traveling the spore with you to another plant. Sterilization is going to be very, very critical. Also, using some mulch. If you have seen some type of a disease, putting down some plastic and then putting good mulch on top of that. The Bull Country compost is a great thing to use on top of that. The moisture will still go through, but because of the plastic being there, you do want to cut a hole so that or use a special plastic that we sell at the store so that it has little tiny holes so that the water will still permeate down through there. And you'll still get the moisture. There's other ways you can do some irrigation to your garden. A lot of you are doing that so that you don't have to water. This year, that hasn't been an issue for us. But you will want to go ahead and take advantage of the things that you can do so that you can have a garden. Some people say, well, it's just cheaper for me to pull all of my plants and just go buy it at the grocery store. And by all means, you might be right. It might be cheaper. But what the satisfaction that you have from growing your own. And, we learn so much from challenges. And I think sometimes that's why God gives us these challenges, not only in gardening, but in our lives, because that's where we learn. And that's when we learn I don't know about y'all, but I pray over my garden all the time. I'm like, oh, Lord, this isn't looking so good. Can, show me what to do on it? And we need to learn to rely on Him in all aspects of our life. And some of you probably think I'm crazy, but in those little things, and that's how we grow our faith, is starting to call on Him in the little things. And then we start to learn, how He helps us in the little things. And then we learn that we can call on Him in the big things as well. So remember, not that you don't want to do other things, but he'll show you what to do. Not just, that he's going to heal your plant, but he'll show you, this is what you need to do. And then you can do those things. Or he'll tell you, call Cindy, she'll help you out. And so that's what we try to do at the Garden Center, is to help you out. But the challenges that we endure in our gardens a lot of times teaches us what to do the following years. And it also helps us help others, because when we have gone through the challenge and we have conquered it and know how to fix certain things that happen in our garden, the next year when somebody else is starting out gardening or they're having an issue that they haven't had before, we can share our wisdom with them that we have gained by gardening over the years and the trial and error that we have had. So remember too, that's how we learn the most, is that trial and error, I think. And so doing it year after year and just sticking with it a lot of times is so much better. If you do end up, because of a terrible disease has struck your garden and you do end up pulling all your plants out, remember, go to your local farmer's market and buy from a local farmer and support them, because you know how challenging it is. So helping that local farmer in your area, because they have overcome those challenges, and don't think they haven't had challenges also. Remember, they have had them too. Well, if you have questions that you would like to have answered about gardening, your vegetables, flowers, your landscape plants, a lot of you are having some problems with your fruit trees, please feel free to give us a call at 330-455-5997. You can email me your questions at cindypetitti@gmail.com. That's CINDYPETITTI@gmail.com. Remember, pictures are great. Or stop into the store, in a Ziploc baggie, bring your leaves, bring a little branch, bring an insect that you don't know what it is, keep it in that Ziploc, and bring it over at 5828 Columbus Road, right there on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway. And we can help you identify your issues, help you get a solution, and get you back home so that you will have a great garden that you can appreciate. Well, don't forget, the farmers market's going on today. Alliance till noon, Canton until 11:30. And don't forget, breakfast out at the Puro Farm on Motts Avenue in East Canton this morning until noon. Please come out and visit me. I will be there with a Farm Bureau shirt on, helping you out getting your breakfast. So please join us and be right back here next Saturday morning on the Light 95.9 at 8 a.m. I'll be with you. Have a blessed week.